Hey friends, welcome back. Polish Protege. I'm in the backyard where there is insane growth, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to clean it up. So this is my pruning lesson and high intensity gardening, how I keep it producing even though it is overrun before the 4th of July. All right, so the first thing I started doing actually already is coming in here, and anything tall, like I've got these sunflowers, Bailey Ray. We've got construction going on our street, so there's lots of strangers in the neighborhood. I go through and I cut off any of these lower leaves on my sunflowers. And then I'm gonna get my tomato string and I'm gonna tie them up to the fence so they're up a little bit higher and I can see in there better to kind of clean that up. So I'll do that first. So this is the before picture of the back row with the sunflowers. And after. Tons of airflow, which is good for the sunflowers themselves, but it's also good for the things that were under them, like this pepper plant that is literally growing peppers underneath the shade of it. Also, back there, that's a cucumber plant. It's gonna get a lot more shade. You can kind of see two peas that I thought were long dead have come alive and are climbing up some of the poles. So I have peas, cucumbers, and peppers all in this back bed with a canopy of these sunflowers, which if they get floppy, I'll just pull them back to the fence with some string. I'm liking it. Okay, next thing I'm gonna address in this back bed is these cool season crops I have in here. I have cabbages and I have the cauliflower. And what I'm gonna do with these, I'm not messing with them, but I'm gonna go back and all the leaves, I pulled some of these already, that are down the ground like that are susceptible to bug damage. I'm gonna cut those off. I don't wanna cut too many, but I am gonna cut the ones at the base that are bringing disease and moisture up into the plant. So I'm gonna do that on this, and on him. So bad news, I got this beautiful purple cauliflower. She gorgeous, she's turning purple, but I missed this one back here. Look, that is one already going to seed, so I'm gonna pull that whole plant and give it to the chickens. The last thing I do is I go through and I look for weeds from anywhere I've pruned. So I pulled this one plant out. So I'm gonna go in here, I pulled all the weeds out, put them in a bucket. Same thing up here. As I was climbing up here cutting these, I gathered any little weeds, anything that's gonna get in the way, because I want to just make sure I'm doing a little bit at a time. I hate to get behind on weeding. I hate weeding, period, but I hate to get behind on weeding. And then it's a huge total job that overwhelms me that I cannot get done. Can we just say, look at these guys. Hey, little bee. I love these little bees. They're little mason bees, I think. They're green. Aren't they cute? They're solitary bees. They're great pollinators. They're all over my yard. Anyway, the only other thing I thought I would be able to do is I do have tomatoes that are flowering. Now, if you remember, I told you you can eat potatoes at 2 different stages. Well, pretty much at any stage now. When they start to flower, you can pull the whole plant up and have little new potatoes, just the smaller guys. However, I kind of like for the flowers to die back first a little bit before I do that, just to get the best harvest for my time and my yield, you know? So these, not really very dead yet, flowering. However, on the bottom here, you can see the bottom leaves are starting to yellow, which means the plant's a little bit kind of dying. So I'm gonna keep an eye on these, and I'm gonna start harvesting these here in the next maybe 2 weeks or so, a little bit at a time for dinner. I'm gonna start, this end is one. I think this is the white potato that we did. I forget the variety. And this is the Sarpo, which is the red variety on the side, which these plants got huge. I love it. However, they are shading out everything in that back corner. So I will pull from that end this way as soon as they start flowering. They are a little bit further behind. I think I've only got one plant that's got flowers on it right there. But I need to pull the back row first so that the things in the back actual row, sorry, I'm having a problem here, can get light. This is fun. This is super fun. The sunflower's still trying to make it. Just shooting up. It's growing just taller than the potatoes. I'm gonna leave it, see what happens. This guy growing in my yard, we're leaving him. All these volunteer calendulas. Look at all the buds there. All that white stuff, cottonwood tree. Not mine, I had to cut it down. The neighbors have a cottonwood tree. It's kind of a mess this time of year. So I'm gonna take my bucket of all my yard waste and I'm gonna feed it to the chickens. So the only thing I don't feed to the chickens is the greenery from legumes, so bean or pea vines, or from nightshades. So tomatoes, peppers, eggplant, and potatoes. But everything else, all those sunflower leaves. Hi guys. How's it going? You like this? These are the 5 ladies that live out here. The other 2 are still getting acclimated. Here, I'll give you a peek at them. They are not happy. Hey girls. Here's one. They're both in there. They like to hide in the boxes right now. And I don't blame them. They're smaller. They're probably getting pecked at, but it is the way of things. All right, ladies, enjoy your bounty. Look, we also have ripe strawberries. All right. The backyard bed is as cleaned up as I can make it until those potatoes are ready to go. The chickens are happy feasting. It's 90 degrees out. We are in the middle of a heat wave. I'm gonna go hide back in the house, and maybe tomorrow morning I'll do that full garden tour. Tomorrow's supposed to be 80. Nice, respectable summer number. Not trying to kill nobody. All right, have a great day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.